in Washington for partnership and support.
We need research. We need a lot of, collaboration with UN, and these things are ways we can come out or transition out of this crisis.
Lucky Ayedatiwa emerges APC candidate for Ondo governorship election after defeating 15 other contestants.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall discuss bridging gaps in nutrition.
Nigeria, the most populous African country, faces a significant nutrition gap that affects the health and well-being of its citizens, particularly vulnerable populations such as children, pregnant women, and the elderly.
Exactly, Victor. And despite progress in recent years, malnutrition remains a major public health concern, with high rates of stunting, wasting, and micronutrient deficiencies.
And the nutrition gap in Nigeria is a complex issue, influenced by factors such as poverty, food insecurity, inadequate access to healthcare, and limited awareness of what constitutes proper nutrition.
Now, addressing the challenges of malnutrition requires a multifaceted approach involving government policies, education, and community-based initiatives to improve nutrition outcomes in Nigeria, Victor.
And bridging this gap requires a multifaceted approach that addresses these underlying factors and provides sustainable solutions to ensure equitable access to nutritious food and quality health care.
And in today's discussion, we will explore the current state of nutrition in Nigeria, identify key challenges and opportunities, and examine strategies for bridging the nutrition gap and promoting healthier outcomes for all Nigerians, especially as the Summit of Faith Leaders on Nutrition in Nigeria is declared open by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Welcome to Good Morning Nigeria. I am Jummai Yusuf.
And I'm Victor as well, so welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria, the first for this week. We are live on the network service of the NTA. Expect the complimentary newspaper review in the course of the program. In the meantime, let's join Olajide Bello for the morning news. Hello, Olajide.
Good morning, Victor. Good morning, Jummai. Here is the morning news. Good morning, Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu is expected to open the African Counter-Terrorism Summit in Abuja on Monday, April 22nd. Nigeria, with the support of the United Nations Office of Counter-Terrorism, is organizing a high-level African Counter-Terrorism Summit under the theme Strengthening Regional Cooperation and Institution Building to Address the Evolving Threats of Terrorism. A statement by the Presidential Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, indicates that the objective of the summit is to enhance multilateral counter-terrorism cooperation and reshape the international community's collective response to terrorism in Africa, while emphasizing the importance of African-led and African-owned solutions. The summit is equally expected to provide a platform to review the nature and severity of the threats of terrorism on the continent, with a view to agreeing on concrete strategic priorities and measures to address this scourge. Heads of state and government and high-level government officials across Africa, representatives of international organizations and multilateral institutions, members of the diplomatic corps, and members of civil society groups are expected to attend the summit. The United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed is also scheduled to attend the event. After months of detailed planning and background work, the committee driving the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative is set to deliver on President Tinubu's vision and promise to reduce the burden of increase in pump price on the masses. The first set of critical assets for deployment and launch ahead of the first anniversary of the Tinubu administration on May 29 is now ready. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Hononuga, says a committee led by Michael Lulu-Agwemi, an oil and gas expert, has delivered some major foundational reforms to enable the new CNG and electric vehicles feature as the President promised. with necessary tax and duty waivers approved by President Tinubu in December 2023, the PCNGI committee is partnering with the private sector to deliver the promise on the initiative. The private sector has responded with over $50 million in actual investment in refueling stations, conversion centers and model stations. The deployment of CNG buses and tricycles and the vision to get at least 1 million natural gas-propelled vehicles on our roads by 2027 will mark a major energy transition in our country's transportation industry. The use of more expensive diesel and PMS will gradually be phased out when many vehicles, including trucks, run on natural gas, which our nation has in abundance in at least 30 out of the 36 states of the Federation. It was a week-long set of meetings and conversations on the global economy at the spring meetings in Washington, D.C., with the Nigerian delegation fully represented. Among many things, Nigeria looks forward to ratification of the third chair of the IMF for Sub-Saharan Africa. And on the horizon is increase in power generation from 4,000 megawatts to 6,000 in the next 6 months, as well as attracting various investments for the country.
We've come away with a bigger say for Africa through an additional chair, an additional seat on the board of directors of the IMF. We help to complete that process, and I think that is a major success for Africa as a whole. In terms of remittances, it is clearly one of the ways in which we can boost foreign exchange supply and the investment, funding for investment in the country.
Amid efforts at bringing back global economy to pre-pandemic levels, Nigeria's northern governors are meeting the leadership of the United Nations and other development partners at the sidelines of the just concluded IMF and World Bank meetings in Washington, D.C. The northern governors, including those of Kaduna, Kebbi, Jigawa, Sokoto, Niger, Zamfara and Benue State, led by the chairman of the Northwest Governors Forum and executive governor of Katsina State, Dikko Umar Rada, are engaging governments and development partners for partnerships and supporting critical sectors of ICT, energy, food security, education, climate change and financing, among other issues on the table.
We want to achieve the Millennium Goals for SDG. We need to address the issue of insecurity.
We are exposed to serious hunger. The reason because you understand people are unable to go to farm.
Our fear is when we might just migrate into Zamfara.
Our people are ready to go back to farm.
We need support. We need research. We need a lot of collaboration with UN, and these things are ways we can come out or transition out of this crisis. Otherwise, there will be no future for our people.
And back home, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has been declared winner of the All Progressives Congress governorship primaries in Ondo State. The final outcome of the exercise was officially announced in Akure by the chairman of the election committee and governor of Kogi State, Usman Ododo, following the collation of results from 17 out of 18 local government areas of Ondo State. The election committee chairman said Governor Aiyedatiwa polled 48,569 votes to defeat 15 other aspirants who contested the primary election, which was concluded on Sunday after the election committee declared the primary inconclusive on Saturday. According to Governor Ododo, former deputy speaker in the state, Mayawaki Folarin came second with 15,343 votes, while Olushola Oke secured the third position with 14,865 votes. Speaking before the party's electoral officers who presented the results from the 17 council areas, Governor Dodo urged other aspirants to be loyal to APC and support the winner towards ensuring that the party wins the governorship elections in November this year. And those are the highlights of the news at this time. Good morning, Nigeria continues with Victor and Juma after this commercial break. Please don't go away.